let's talk about this quickly. I'm getting somebody really regrets how they treated you before, because I'm getting there was a person who almost like they knew what they were doing. They knew that what they were doing was bad for you. They knew that like you're willingly Hi Scorpios, welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing well. I took a little bit of a break, which I don't know, probably you guys didn't even feel it because I think I uploaded a video just 5 days ago, but had my birthday celebration. And for those who are wondering, I am a Scorpio rising, I'm a Taurus sun, so I'm not really a Scorpio sun, I'm Scorpio rising. And yeah, it was wonderful little break, but we are back, and it's actually a very important time for Scorpios because we have the eclipse coming up, I believe next week. What day is today? Today is like May 18, May 17, May 18, something like that, right? So yeah, in about a week or so, about 10 days or so, we are gonna have an eclipse, which is as per tropical astrology, it is not gonna be in the constellation of Scorpio. In the Vedic, it is a constellation of Scorpio in sidereal. However, I feel like it is an incredibly important eclipse for Scorpios because with the South Node being in your second house and North Node being in the 8th house, it is very important for all the things that we've been talking about in terms of money, wealth, prosperity generated, change of luck, really big time when it comes to money and finances. And I think Scorpio risings, but also Sun and Moon will very much likely feel it a lot. Because once again, we need to understand something about astrology. And by the way, if you want to study and learn more about astrology, check out my other channel where I talk more about astrology rather than on this channel. And what we need to understand is that astrologically, 2nd and 8th house are connected to finances. 2nd house is the money that you make, money that you earn, money that you save as well. And the 8th house is what's called the house of unearned income, taxes, the house of, you know, like I usually look at things like even hedge funds or any kind of, you know, investment activities. Also with the 8th house, it is how much can you make also when it's not just like, let's say I'm earning money doing something, like that's my salary, but 8th house is how much can I earn as well from one of the houses where I would be looking at how much can you earn from investments, how much can you earn, like are you getting a good tax return, are you getting, you know, good tax breaks, are you getting, I don't know, maybe some kind of grant loan investment in your company, you know, like 8th house, you really do need a strong 8th house when, let's say, you are raising money, you have like a startup, you know, or you have like any kind of company, like, you know, that you try to raise money for. This is all the 8th house. And even, you know, like things like healing, things like occult, things like let's say if I want to make a business selling tarot cards. By the way, we are making our own tarot Astro Wonderland cards, so if you want to help us make them faster, donate. The link is going to be in the description box. GoFundMe campaign where basically we are making our own tarot oracle cards, and we'll see if it's going to be just one deck or maybe I'll make more. It's been something that's been so long in the making, and the reason for it is I don't want to just take like some stock images, you know, or whatever from the internet and make a deck. I want to actually make original art for it, you know, because I'm also in art as well. So yeah, if you guys want to donate to this channel, the best way to support the channel, by the way, to donate this project. But anyway, backtracking this, and I'm gonna maybe even timestamp because like today is just a little chill day for me. Like, let's say even making money from like being a tarot reader, astrologer, 8th house, we look at it. And the reason why this eclipse is so important is because it's affecting 2nd and 8th house. It is going to be something that for a lot of Scorpios, you will feel and you will remember this time of your life. Of course, if also in your natal chart, you have things supporting that, you will look at this time of your life as the time where you're like, you really went on a different level financially, whether it is, you know, of course, never an investment or financial or business advice here, but it is something, especially for people also like investing right now, or, you know, like in any kind of more even speculative as well, speculative type of activity, which we also have to understand for Scorpios, risings especially, but also sun and moon. However, for rising more so, Jupiter is the planet that rules both your second house, which is Sagittarius, and your fifth house. Second house is the money that we make, our abundance, our prosperity, the values, things we hold valuable. Fifth house is our speculative activity, gains. Can we actually make money by creating a business, which is speculative, right? Type of activity, because you're making a business, you never know if it's going to go well or not. Or things like trading as well. Things like stock market is fifth house too. Cryptocurrency market, I guess, is fifth house too. And I think that for a lot of Scorpios, the eclipse that we're going to have in the sign of Sagittarius on the 26th, I believe, right? This is going to be one of the things you will forever remember about your life, because this is just going to be where for a lot of people it is going to be just, and that's something, again, I started seeing this energy last year, 2020, around October-ish, November-ish. If you go back to my old videos, I started seeing this energy back then. And at first I was very surprised, where I was like, I've never seen like this type of reading. Usually it's a soulmate, whatever, right? So I'm happy for you guys, especially people who really resonate with this. It is a very opportune time, I think, and keep believing in that, keep focusing, keep your eyes, so-called on the prize right now. And by the way, I have to make another announcement, which I will make also another video about before we go fully in the tarot. So as I was saying in my previous videos, right, I was aiming to close all the private reading bookings before May 14. Like May 14, I believe, was the last day. So something happened where basically, from how I understood, some people submitted their purchase, but like, basically what happened was there was less available in stock than what people were trying to buy. So some people basically just got refunded because there was like so many people trying to purchase something at the same time. So given that some people were on time, but there was like some issue with Etsy, I decided in honor of that, to extend private reading bookings and also sales of classes. There's one class that on sale for another, let's make it until Eclipse Day. Let's make it until May 27th. So I know that a lot of people were like super pissed because they were like, oh my God, I was waiting to do that, but they basically didn't get in. I extended, so my Etsy shop, there's private reading still gonna be available until May 27th. And also private classes, my Vimeo tarot class and my course craft is going to be available until May 27th as well. Thank you guys so much. I am sorry that, there was just like, it was an issue with Etsy, but like, let's do this also for course craft and Vimeo, because I know a lot of people really wanted to get in, but for whatever reason, there was like a little bit, it was a bit too busy. So I hope to see you there. The links to discounts and everything else is going to be in the description. Hope to see you in my classes, and let's get into your reading. Anyway, enough of this announcements, but let's see. Okay, my loves, let's use this deck. Let's see what's going on. I do have an AC. I'm like traveling right now. I do have AC on, but I hope it's not too loud. But let's see. So your first card, lost in space, needing direction. Let me show it in a second. Second card, balancing act. So this is your first card, 36 number, which is also 3 plus 6 numerical value is 9. Lost in space, needing direction. We also have dances on one foot, balancing act. Let's take one more. A tidy house, clarity and organization. All right, let's talk about this. What I feel is that even though for a lot of Scorpios things are going really well, there's been a little bit of this energy where you felt maybe, I'm getting ungrounded, the energy where you're not 100% grounded. It could happen for a few different reasons here. We have Pluto that started retrograde a couple of weeks back. I think it's going to stay there until October or November of this year. So we have Pluto retrograde happening right now. We have Mars, which is the planet that's an ancient ruler of Scorpio, in the sign of Cancer in tropical astrology. And Mars in Cancer is at its falling point. It's in its debilitated point, even though for Scorpio it is still a friendly energy, because Cancer and Scorpio are friendly to each other because of the water element. Both Scorpio and Cancer in traditional astrology is water element. So I'm getting that there is a part of you that's kind of like trying to expand your options, trying to just see, like really take a broad bird eye sort of like view at all the different options, opportunities you have. And it's almost like, because you see so much that's available for you potentially, so many potential new beginnings, so many potential just ways, places maybe you could go. But we have to also remember Jupiter just entered Pisces a couple of days ago. Actually, it entered Pisces on my birthday, which I was like, I'll make a separate video about it, because I actually flew to state where I have Jupiter rising in my solar return chart. I'm gonna make a whole other video about it. But basically what I want to say here, having Mars in Cancer, having Jupiter enter Pisces, and having also Pluto in its retrograde position instead of Scorpio, what's happening now, I think, for a lot of Scorpios is that you really start to kind of like, if before you could only see like sort of like tunnel vision, like only straight, there is something happening where you are taken out of your comfort zone and you start seeing where I could go here, I could go there, I could do this, I could do that, I could have this potential project, I could have this potential, situation, right, going on. I could have like so many different things, which is exciting, I think, for a lot of Scorpios, but at the same time, there's something here which makes you a little bit like ungrounded, where you're like, I really would benefit if I had a mentor right now, or if somebody could give me a little bit of guidance. I need a little bit of direction. I don't think you're lost. It's more like I feel like you've been stuck for a long time in one spot, in one space, in one type of situation which you were waiting to get shaken out of. I'm literally seeing like shaking out of that, but it was not happening, and now you finally are out of that, being stuck in one specific point, and you are starting to see so many different ways it could go. So now it's like the opposite of that. You're now like, okay, but I have to kind of anchor myself in somewhere, right? We have this balancing act, exactly, like needing a direction and also balancing act. So I think for a lot of you, there's soon going to be something very, very auspicious if you are if you are considering moving or renovating your apartment, or if there's any kind of housing issues you had. If there's any kind of housing issues you had, I see that right now it does require your attention. So whether it's like, I don't know, paying rent, like fixing any kind of issue around your house, moving to a new place, finding a place. I've actually been apartment searching myself recently. Or just, like making sure that the energy of your house is auspicious, doing some kind of little rituals, buying, I don't know, some kind of waterfalls, crystals, somebody buying waterfalls. I don't know what this means, but something like that, like where feng shui, I'm seeing some people doing feng shui for your house, just really focusing on that matter. I feel like once you kind of resolve something right about your family, right about your home, you will feel that necessary, like you will not get stuck basically like you were maybe before, but I feel like it's gonna give you that necessary support, that necessary kind of like foundation. You will not be stuck. I don't see that. It's more like you need right now to sort of like settle yourself a little bit. And again, for some people it's moving, but for others I'm seeing is just more like improving energy in your house, maybe thinking how you can work from home a little bit, or if you already are working from home, how to make these things better. But yeah, there is something here which the clarity that you seek is somehow connected to home and family, organizing your things, organizing stuff. I also see that for a lot of you there could be a very amazing abundance ritual you could do with this eclipse that's coming. Get rid of the things that donate to charity or something. Get rid of the things which you feel are not, how there is this Marie Kondo thing where whatever clothes or whatever, I don't know, items are not giving you that happiness, are not aligned with the vision you have for yourself. You need to let them go. And especially with South Node in the second house, sometimes it could indicate temporary financial loss or anything like that. Again, it's nothing to be scared of, but the remedy for it, if you want to also to prevent potentially anything like that happening, is to willingly give away any kind of things that you don't want anymore. To charity is the best thing, or maybe even make a small donation to charity. There is actually a Kabbalistic secret of how to protect your wealth that you build and protect your assets, and this has to do with donating around 10% of your income to the charity or helping someone. Again, if you don't have money that you feel like you can donate, it could be just your energy, it could be just helping someone free of charge, maybe for something. It is the rule which basically helps you protect your income, protects your wealth from any kind of negative energy, evil eye. And even if you think about it, like even, if you know how to do it also tax-wise, it also protects you from that too. So anyway, that's what I'm seeing here, guys. Beautiful things happening, but let's see what else. Hierophant, ooh, month of Taurus. things are getting very serious for you, and I think it has to do with you kind of for a while maybe were a little bit lost with trying to understand who in your life has your best interests, who in your life really wishes you well, and which people or circumstances or things or energy commitments are the ones that's draining you and maybe kind of like contributing to that sense of where you are ungrounded, you are not very clear about things. I'm getting that you're receiving a lot of clarity about who has your best interests, which projects are the best for you, which career path is the best for you, which people really are in your life because they wish you well. There could be a return of someone into your life. Now again, it doesn't have to be a soulmate. It could be like you didn't speak to your brother or sister for some time and like you had some kind of falling out, or maybe a friend that you, I don't know, they were busy or something and you haven't heard from them. I see that the people who are right for you, like trust this time, especially month of May. Trust that the people who are right for you will naturally gravitate to you. And if some people distance themselves from you, if some people show you their not such good colors, if there are some people who are living your life, trust that that's a cleansing, and trust that this is realignment to where you need to be. Because people, I feel like, who've been dragging you down, by the end of May, they are out of your life. They are no longer there. And sometimes it doesn't necessarily always have to be that someone is backstabbing you or someone's doing something completely horrible. Although it could be, of course. Sometimes it's just like people's energy in your life is creating chaos. And especially if you, let's say, have people who in their own life are not stable and have a lot of chaos, Scorpios tend to be affected by that. Because for a couple of reasons, Capricorn in 3rd house, Virgo in 11th house, you do need to have friends and align yourself with friends who are on the same mission as you. Best strategy for you is to have loyal people who also have same career goals as you, same work same work ethic as you. Because again, 3rd house, which is your associates, which is your neighbors, etc., like siblings, is Capricorn. 11th house, which is friendships, communities you belong to, is Virgo. So cleanliness, stability, honesty, career-oriented type of people. And when I say career-oriented, this is not necessarily someone who just, I want to be famous, whatever. It could be, but like it's more like people with clean record. I don't know why I said clean record. I'm not sure, but like people with basically clean vision, like good work ethic is what you want to attract when it comes to friendships, when it comes to people. Because again, I'm getting some of you get lost sometimes when you are in the bad company a little bit. We also have here this I was gonna say Hierophant, no, Hanged Man, Pisces energy. Taurus and Pisces energy, very important here. Pisces energy, well, we have Jupiter in Pisces, but then of course in your 12th house, some of you could have, if you are not a Scorpio rising, some of you could have Taurus rising. Some of you I'm seeing also could have Pisces in your chart. I also see for some of you there is a 12th house transit that's pretty important. If it's a 12th house transit, you might be a Pisces or an Aries too, risings. But what I'm also seeing is that with a Hanged Man, this is the first time in a long time where you start really not forcing things. You start trusting your journey. You start trusting, oh my God, you start trusting your journey. Look at this, with a Wheel of Fortune here. You start trusting that you are on the right track. And again, for a lot of you, this has to do with Jupiter being in the sign of Pisces. I see some of you have North Node, by the way, in Pisces. And if it's North Node in Pisces, you're having Jupiter transit your North Node transit. So with Jupiter transit in your Pisces placement, whatever it is, I'm getting that a lot of you are having this inner sense of peace and calmness, that you are just on the right track, that you just trust that things will work out. Like a lot of people around you I'm seeing could be panicking, could be like confused, like in all the noise that's going around. But you just know, you trust your destiny at this point. You just know that this is the moment when things are getting aligned for you. I also see a lot of you might have experienced such phenomenon where very often when things in the world are great, like how to say things in the world are great, but very often you're by yourself, everybody is living their life, everybody's enjoying their life, but you're having difficulties. But when there is some kind of crisis in the world, when there is just in general any kind of panic or any kind of ups and downs, calamities or whatever, you're the one who somehow ends up being protected from that. That's one of the gifts of the Scorpio. Yeah, very interesting. So you are right now someone who could, where other people panic, where other people are confused, you could benefit by feeling strong in the face of calamity or adversity. I'm not sure what this means. Alrighty, we have the 10 of Swords, we also have the 7 of Pentacles, we have the 2 of Wands. All right, let's talk about this, the star at the bottom. I'm seeing that for a lot of you, you have recently avoided a catastrophe, they say, but I don't know why is it so dramatic. This is the before tarot deck. So of course here cards are a little different. You see here the 10 of Swords, but it's before this person been backstabbed, quote unquote. You see here in the bushes, there is this 3 people. I know it's a bit dark card, but what they say, you have avoided that. You have actually been you have been saved basically from being in some kind of difficult situation, and I feel like it's related to other people. It could be because of a love relationship, friendships, or some kind of work environment you've been in. Pick and choose whichever, you know, that is. It's almost like you almost walked right into this dangerous territory, but then last minute you were like, you know what, I don't want to associate myself with that. I want to go somewhere else. Like you basically have avoided some kind of major, they say catastrophe, but I don't know, knock on wood, hope you guys are all fine. And I feel like you've been saved from something where, you know, it's interesting energy, because I feel that for a lot of you, you have recently realized that not everything you see is what it seems. And sometimes, like, see, that's the thing, it's tricky with Scorpios, because you guys definitely are, right, very intuitive. You can read people, you can see through things, but sometimes you have this, I feel like, a little bit of not necessarily a sweet spot or weak spot. You do deep down want to see the best in people, even though like most people will be like, oh, Scorpio sees the best in people. What? No, you do. It's more like deep down you sometimes, you know how they say sometimes it's so hard for your heart, for your mind to accept something that your heart already knows. And I'm just getting that recently you have avoided some kind of major difficult situation. It's almost like there was maybe some small losses there associated with the situation, but they're not as terrible as they could have been if you stayed in that situation longer. I'm getting maybe you had some kind of really, I don't know, toxic partner. I'm even seeing narcissistic energies, like where somebody was just, you know, it's almost like you ended up in the middle of some toxic situation again. But what I'm also seeing, you were able to see the red flags early of something. So again, maybe you started dating a person and then they just revealed something to you where you were like, oh my God, no, I'm not. Like maybe like they did something that mirrored your ex or whatever. Or maybe you had some friendships where you thought you could trust a person, but they actually were doing a lot of bad things behind your back. They were talking bad about you, or they were jealous of you, or they were copying you, or they were in some way, I don't know, like they were just sending you negative energy, which was creating a lot of calamity in your life, because like maybe there was jealousy or something like that. But regardless, leave it to rest. I'm getting that you were saved, because with the 7 of Pentacles next to the 2 of Wands, you are just really on a different timeline here. The time has come for you to reap the benefits of the dedication you've given before, whether to some kind of craft, whether it's some kind of project. You are not in really like, sometimes honestly sometimes I think we go through difficult lessons in life, not necessarily of anything because of what we've done, but sometimes it's just the time is to be, you know, to be learning more difficult lessons. It's just the time, it's just the energy, it's just the timeline. Other times, you know, because we are, you know, in the energy where this is the time of blessings, even if, let's say, again, I'm not telling anybody to be a bad person or anything, but sometimes you're screwing something up, but just because you are on a timeline of major blessings, major miracles, it's kind of like, how to say this, it's not your moment right now to experience any lesson in that category or in that, I don't know, in that specific segment. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, kind of think about it, right? When the markets, financial markets, let's say, are booming, not necessarily some kind of project even has fundamentals to be successful, or, you know, like is worth, you know, like it would make sense for something to rise, but just because everything is on the upside there's a lot of things that are going up with that, and the same, you know, like on the contrary. And I'm getting that for you in your life, this is just the upside. So even if let's say maybe 2 years ago some situations where you were would have ended up really badly, again, I'm seeing some kind of toxic people, a little bit selfish, narcissistic. Right now you are saved because you are meant to experience different things. You're meant to experience happiness right now. You're meant to actually elevate. Now, something I do want to mention here, again, this is a very different deck because it is B4 tarot. You see this Two of Wands card here. We see here a man who is holding the globe in his hand, but we also see here someone looking from behind. I do want to tell you guys, I thought I said this in one of your extendeds or maybe even on YouTube. Do be careful with people around you. There are people who don't see you clearly. They just think, I don't know, maybe the way you represent yourself or just the way you position yourself, they think you have so much and you have the world. And there is, unfortunately, a little bit of a risk. Again, this is why it's called a reading, because I have to, sometimes when it ends up, I have to warn you a little bit. Sometimes you could attract with this kind of energy people who are not there for the right reasons. Maybe they want something that you have. Maybe they want to jump on some kind of wagon with you because you think you're going places. I actually not recently, like it was a few years back, I had some friendship which was very heartbreaking for me because I learned later on that a person was friends with me because they thought I'm going places, that I thought I'm dating this type of person. I thought that I'm gonna have this much money or whatever. And this person actually literally told that to me. And I was like, I'm friends with you because I like you as a person, you know, like, but it's heartbreaking sometimes. But then there is another side of that as well. When people are looking at the things you have, things you're manifesting, places you're going, they're like, how does this person doing? So be careful. I'm getting that the biggest risk for you really, I think mainly is just people around you, friendships, maybe even family for some of you. Be careful with that. Not so much about love, but it could be as well. Also, don't be naive when it comes to love, they say. Let's see what else. But you have the star at the bottom, so I don't think it's any real threat. It's just more like a little bit of a heads up to be a little bit more careful. Let's see what else is gonna come up. We have here Page of Cups. I'm getting that someone really wants you to forgive them. It's almost like there is this white piece of dove. And I don't know if it's a conscious thing or unconscious thing, where I'm just getting that this Page of Cups with Jupiter and Pisces. This just kind of like in general also the energy where I'm just feeling that a lot of people are becoming a lot more, like the faith is coming back. Like let's say if when Jupiter was debilitated in Capricorn, or like even Jupiter in Aquarius with Saturn, there is a little bit of this like lack of faith in general. With Jupiter and Pisces, we will see for the next 2 months, while Jupiter is in Pisces before it goes back retrograde, a lot of people will be a lot more, you know, easy to forgive others, a lot more kind as well, a lot more spiritual, I guess, as well too. And I'm just feeling here with the Page of Cups, someone regrets how they treated you. Let's see, 7 of Cups, 8 of Swords. We have 8 of Pentacles with 3 of Swords. All right, Death reversed at the bottom. Let's talk about this quickly. I'm getting somebody really regrets how they treated you before, because I'm getting there was a person who almost like they knew what they were doing. They knew that what they were doing was bad for you. They knew that like you're willingly like they knew that you dropped your guard. They knew that you chose to trust them so much. They knew that like you kind of they could see how you willingly were like just, you know, hoping that you were not going to take advantage of this, but they did it anyway. So I don't know what that is, guys, but it's like I definitely don't resonate with that myself, so it's a message for someone here. And it's almost like you couldn't believe that they could treat you that way. But I feel like this person, whoever did whatever they did to you here, like they put you in a difficult situation, or they kind of like blindfolded you, put you in a stuck position. I'm getting that this person, it's almost like they, you know, when people like gaslight others or gaslight themselves even, or just like, I don't know, go in a bit of denial. I'm getting that the person was just closing their own eyes, where they were like, I don't see, like they're like, I don't see what's going on. They were choosing to not look at something. They were choosing to not see something. And I think that this was something in the past has led you to heartbreak, but you were able to pick yourself back up though. What I see now is that this person is like looking at you all in a beautiful place, rising high, and they feel like, I think it's interesting because you're dealing with someone, and of course I'm not like, I'm not going to be diagnosing anybody with anything here on a YouTube video, but I'm getting, like, what we have to understand very often when we deal with other people is that, right, we could have awareness of our own, any kind of mental issues, mental health issues. We could be aware of our own traumas and everything. But when we deal with others, we don't always know 100% a degree to which they have certain type of issues. And again, this is never to say that, oh, forgive them because of that. But people have, like, sometimes you look at a person, you think, oh, like, they are fine, but they could have a lot of issues, a lot of, whether it's actual illness or whether it is, any kind of any kind of personality disorder, to where it's almost like let's say, if you see a person who can barely walk, you're not going to expect them to dance or to run. And I think for you, learning a lesson that it's not always necessarily that people are inherently evil. Of course, there could be evil people and all that, but sometimes when we deal with people who, it just blows our mind, the things they do, the things they say, how they act, how they react, what they choose to do, we have to understand that it could be part of it, honestly, because like a person is a negative person, but it could also be that there's a lot of like illness, there's a lot of issues that, we can fully also understand. Like it is actually something that helped me to forgive some of my own family members when I just realized this person was mentally sick. Like, it's, of course, was unfortunate, like for me to be dealing with such person, but it's serious stuff, and like it is heavy. And I don't know, maybe their higher self, I almost like want to cry, oh my god, I feel like the higher self of this person, whoever they are, is asking you to forgive them. Again, I'm not telling you that you should or shouldn't, but it's just a message, that they pass in today, because Page of Cups, they really want that peace. Again, it could be their higher self. This is why this person's, kind of like physical self might not fully be on that same page. Because I feel like something about this person is not able to see. It's almost like they might not even see themselves clearly. They might have some kind of self-perception or perception of reality that's very inaccurate. Like what they say, what they feel. They might be a person who also, like, one morning they wake up, they say one thing, and next day they forget what they just said a day ago. A lot of turbulence. But the higher self of this person it's very random, is asking you to forgive them. I don't know what this means for you. Maybe I'm feeling like some of you were waiting for closure, or maybe some of you have recently ended a relationship that just was like, what? Like, I don't even understand what just happened here. And I'm just getting a lot of you were like looking for closure. I'm also feeling for a lot of you, it's not recent. For a lot of you, it's like something from long from the past, and you were just waiting and waiting for this closure, but it never came. I'm getting that maybe for you, this is the closure that you seek. Again, for some of you, it's recent. For some of you, it's a long time ago. But the characteristic that I'm seeing here is that something suddenly happened and you were just caught off guard. Let's see what else. Let's see what's the message for you guys here. We have here, how do you say this? Hireth? Longing for home, homesick for the stars. Something about stars as well. I'm getting that a lot of you will be recently, I don't know, maybe you have this interest like in star seeds and all of that. I'm seeing for a lot of you there is this interest in astrology, really. Like some of you could be, I'm not 100% sure if everybody who thinks they are starseed, maybe. But there's something here about longing for home. Like some of you are like wondering, what would it be like if I lived, I don't know, on a different planet? What's life like on different dimensions, different planets? I recently felt this actually too, so it's very interesting. Some of you will have to do some kind of research, I think, about astronomy or astrology. I also have here the seeds of Mintaka, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. Really a spiritual time for you. For a lot of you with Jupiter in Pisces, if you've been feeling like you maybe have disconnected from your faith or from just believe in something higher than yourself, I think that this energy is going to be coming back for a lot of you. Really a spiritually transformative time, and I'm going to make a separate video about Jupiter and Pisces for all the signs, but I'm definitely seeing here that for a lot of you guys, it's a beautiful time has come. We'll take this to the extent, we'll take a look more into what are the things you have to be careful with, and also we'll take a look in depth on this situation. What is this closure that you're seeking? Because I'm keeping hearing that someone just wants you to let it go. to forgive this, to stop maybe feeling like, I feel like a lot of you have been feeling sad, been feeling like, why did this happen to me again? How could I miss this? Maybe it was some kind of repetitive even pattern that you thought you've ended. Like, let's say you go through sometimes certain dynamic and you realize why it's happening in your life, but then it happens again and you're like, oh my God, like I thought I've healed. Something about that. Let's take a look at this in the extended. Thank you guys so much. Again, just a reminder, because we had some technical difficulty and couldn't, like there was some malfunction on the side as well, we have extended. Again, let's just, because I have to definitely close all my bookings and stuff before summer. So please, if you want to book something or enroll in the courses, we made it until Eclipse, so until May 27th. Readings and classes are open until then. Again, I will not be able to continue it after that, so hope to see you guys there, and special offers and all of that is in the description. Love you all. See you in extended. Bye.